There's a time when you say, okay, I know the scripts. I made it my own. But what I do is I teach people the principle behind the question, why we're asking it. Because once you
Mhm.
understand why we're asking it, then you can adjust it to the person because you got the principle, and you can even use your own words. Once you've done the homework of getting the scripts inside you, like Bruce Lee said, express yourself. But you want to have the material in your brain that you've already done the hard work of
Mhm.
memorizing and understanding dialogues and script.
Hi, I'm Noelle with today's Brew, where top producing real estate agents share their tips and tricks on taking more listings, making more money, and having fun doing it. On today's episode, we have the closing machine, Richard Duggal. Hi, Richard.
Hi, great to see
How
you.
are you?
Terrific. I'm feeling so good. I almost feel guilty.
Don't feel guilty. Just share some of this goodness with us.
Yeah,
Tell
how
us
do I
how
share the
you
wealth?
tell us how you got the name the closing machine. I know everyone wants to know.
Uh, well, I used to work with a big coaching company, and they used to play my live calls on the stage, and they saw how I don't give up on people, and I can continuously keep the conversation going, and I have an ability to keep people on the phone. They don't hang up, like so that I actually talk to people and I close them.
Hmm.
And then what happened is that I made some of the things that happened is that I shared some of my tapes, and one of them is where like in real estate, some of the coaching companies out there, people on the stage, they say, rightly so, they say that most agents don't close, or they might ask for the appointment once. And if you're really good, you'll ask three times. And if superstars may go up to five, like five times. So I have a call where I went with a lady, closed it 82 times on tape, but in actual fact, it was around 100
Oh,
consecutively. And so I kind of picked up that name, the closing machine, and also obviously my results as well, because
yes.
I've taken a lot of listings,
How many listings do you have right now currently?
and that's a good thing. If you check me out on realtor.ca, because I'm in Canada, I've got about, I think, 37 or 36. I'm not sure right now,
That's
because
quite impressive.
I take listings at my
So
turn.
what are you going to close the year out with this year? How many transactions?
I usually average around 150 to 200. So, and then the the key there is that most of them are listings. Like a lot of them are listings,
Mhm.
not buyer
What
sales.
you want.
We have like 10 buyer agents and whatever, which is great for people who do that too. But
So
mine are focused on listings.
are you a part of a team or is it just you to putting up those numbers?
It's me, and I have a couple of agents as well.
Incredible.
I
So
still
let's
prospect.
talk about your coaching because you're in coaching or you provide coaching. So with all those numbers, you're clearly an expert in your field. What kind of advice can you offer some agents today who are having a little bit of call reluctance?
I'll call reluctance. That's something I do coach on, usually individually. One of the things when you're calling, just it's a big topic. Obviously, you could do a 2 hour seminar on that and a talk. But here's just a few things: is that if you're having call reluctance, one of the things we want to do to help with that is look at how you're viewing the situation. Like, how are you viewing what you're doing? So, on a third party, let's say a camera, you're the director of the movie. How are you seeing yourself doing that? So, are you calling and bothering people? Are you there bothering them, or are you there helping people, to achieve their goals? Are you there to
Providing
support
a service.
people? Yeah. The other thing behind that, so one assignment that I give people when they first begin to coach with me, and it's a simple assignment, yet it takes some thinking
Mhm.
and some work, is why should someone choose you? Why should somebody choose to you? You need an answer for that. So what I tell them is write out 10 reasons why someone should choose you. So write out one, two, three, 10 reasons why somebody should work with you, right? As a listing agent, for example.
Mhm.
And people can't do it. Like it's surprising. And I need help. So I go, first of all, are you full time? And they go, yeah, I am. I go, okay, 9 to go. Because at least in our real estate board here, there's an internal survey. And I think it was something like 72% or 74% are part time, self proclaimed. Because it said,
Mm-hmm.
do you work less than 30 hours a week? It's an internal survey. And, so right there, you're full time. So now we got 9 to go, right? And then obviously you want some unique things that you do, unique mechanisms, we call it in
Mm-hmm.
copywriting world. But some things could be very simple. So what we do is now we have that belief in ourselves. Like, by golly, I do call my clients every week. I do care about them, and I do answer calls when agents call with offers. And wait a minute, there's big teams with big billboards, and when I call to get an offer on their listing, I can't even get hold of anybody. Maybe I am good when it comes to serving clients. So I get you to believe the confidence in yourself, and even to a point where when you're calling people, they're making a mistake if they don't list with you, or they're in the general population, so there's danger they may get the wrong agent who doesn't care about people, doesn't work, and you work. So the key is to build that belief in yourself. So I hope that's helpful to some degree.
Oh, it's definitely helpful. So, speaking a little bit on believing in yourself, let's carry that right on over to a healthy mindset. And what kind of mindset does a prospector need?
One of them is you want to reclaim your birthright, which is you're a hunter. You're a hunter for business. Like you're expressive. So you're somebody who can go out and talk to people. You're somebody who can be persistent. And if you look at somebody who won't give up for what they want, and all you have to do as examples is look at children. So if anyone's got a child or a nephew, do they give up? When you're driving by McDonald's and they go, Dad, McDonald's, and you think they're going to let you just pass by, and you say, no, not today. And they go, okay. Are they going to cajole you? And if you notice, see, we were born with that ability to persuade, to never give up.
Mm-hmm.
That's our birthright. If the universal force gave us that, that means that we're supposed to have it. Like, that is a power. It's not something to deny ourselves. So talk about persuasion. A child will try different things, that if something doesn't work, then move on to the next one. So one may be, don't worry, Dad. Give me, let me go there. I'll still eat at home for dinner, which is like a negotiation. That doesn't work. Then they may say guilt and say, well, Dad, Tommy's dad takes him there every Friday. We never go out to eat. We never get out, which is guilt. That doesn't work. We need to reclaim that. Now, the good news is they can never take that from you, because it's God given us in your birthright. So we need to reclaim that kind of sense of humor, the playfulness, the enjoyment of just doing whatever, like in that kind of fun, expressiveness, and not giving up. We need to reclaim the hunter, because when we were cavemen, women, or whatever, we had to go out and get food. We had to go out and get it. And so there's a lot of social media messages, to say that, you shouldn't be calling anybody. People will call you, which is fine. Let them call you. But why would you deny yourself going out and getting business? And even if you get internet leads, you still have to call them.
Absolutely.
So the hunter's mindset, reclaim it.
What should an agent's morning look like? What would a successful agent's morning look like to you when we're talking about getting up in the morning, and what kind of non-negotiable items should they be doing in the morning? Role playing? How long should they be prospecting? How many contacts do they need to be getting in touch with on a day to be going to listing appointments?
Well, this is the reason why some people come to me, like people who already been trained a lot in coaching companies or whatever, because I give a fresh perspective on things. I tend to, that they haven't heard before. If you listen to podcasts, it's usually the same thing, right? Have a morning routine, do this, do the exercise, and it's all good advice. But I always step out and look at reality, and I say, wait a minute. And I'm going to tell you something that will be maybe a little bit different from some of the people you've heard. So first of all, let's get one thing right. It's important to have a morning routine, whatever that routine is, right? So one of the routines is, and I'm sure you've heard this before, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time. on it. Is get up, eat something nutritious, move your body, do something,
Mm-hmm.
exercise, write out your goals, do your affirmation, meditation, pray, whatever that is, or write out your goals, and all these things. And obviously, role play, practice your scripts, because it
Yes.
gets your tongue going, it gets your mind going. And one thing that most people don't know is that, and this is a fact, is is just as useful to practice on your own as it is to have a role play partner. But
Sure.
but we
Sure.
need but the best thing is to do both, and I'll tell you the advantages of each one. When you're with a role play partner, you get that kind of back and forth. It helps you be fast on your feet, and
Mm-hmm.
plus you can learn things from you then and get the feedback if you've got a good
Yeah.
one. Right?
Help with handling
Yeah.
objections.
So what's the advantage of doing it on your own? I'm doing for that because I know one problem. I've been doing this for 30 years, is that my role play partner didn't turn up today. So what you do is don't just not role play. You can do it yourself. The advantage of doing the role play yourself is you can enunciate the words and work on the pausing, and you can keep saying the same thing. When do you plan on moving? When do you plan on moving? And you can start working on your downswings, your upswings. You're working like in a lab now with you. So if you're focused on that, you can actually get really good as well. So the best thing is to do both, right? So now this is where it becomes like a bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Alex Hamosi, he doesn't need a big thing. He just gets up and just goes to work. So you have to look at yourself individually. So one of my friends went to see a lady who's a really great prospector and to shadow her for the day. And he was surprised because I was in the office. I got there before her. He's from Washington. I don't know where she's from, but he had to travel. And he said, Richard, she came in, she opened the door, she got a number, and she just started calling like like that. And I go, oh, wow. That's what I do. I don't need to do a lot because my mindset's already that way. Now, is it good for me to do some exercise and look at yeah, but I don't need
Mm-hmm.
to spend 2 hours. So, so there's two types. People who have a problem, a challenge, they have to do 2 hours. But you see, I'd
Two
rather
hours
spend the
of
next 2 hours of
prospecting.
preparation, yeah. But so you have to find out from yourself. So I don't need as much. I can just do a few things, pick up the phone, bang. Because what they also teach is if, the first call, because they almost presuppose it's going to be difficult. And that's a problem with our culture. There's a lot of problems and thought viruses, I call them, in our culture, which is it's hard to prospect. It's tough. It's a grind and all that. So what they say is call somebody that if you have a problem, which will help somebody who has a problem prospecting, rejection wise, is call someone like a past client that you like, or someone you like, even your mom, just to get the, just get your, to get the mood right, right? But
Yeah.
personally, I don't need to do that because I worked on the back end, which is my mindset, who I am, be to have. If you want to be a prospect, to be a
You've
hunter,
mastered controlling your mind. You can just pick up
yeah.
the phone and get right to it.
I don't know if I've mastered it. It's always an exercise,
Mm-hmm.
mastering. But yeah, so what I'm saying is find one that works for you. Don't just follow somebody else like a robot and saying, okay, I need 2 hours, and if you need 2 hours, maybe you need 3. But I'm just letting you know there are people out there. And Matthew talked about it, the 2 types of salespeople. He was coaching them, that some are just like, bang, let me go out and get some business. And some need to do all that. So if you need it, then do it.
Yeah.
But find out what works for you.
Create a morning routine that works best for you
Yeah.
and stick to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Good. Good. How about scripts? How important are scripts with the role playing? Are you going to how often should you be using them on your calls, and what happens when people aren't responding the way that you would like for them to respond? How do you push back that? How do you handle those objections?
Well, scripts are very useful, especially when you begin, because you go, what do I say? So the reason why we don't prospect, one of the big reasons, is because we don't know what to say. So here's
Mm-hmm.
an example. Someone drives by, they got into real estate and they see a private sign, for sale by owner. And they go, oh, and they keep driving, right? Why? Because they don't know what to say. But once they know what, I know I've taught people my scripts anyway. I have my own NLP based, persuasion based, based on language patterns and stuff. But they're very easy to use once you know them. And so I've done it myself where I've taught people and they go, I can say that. Right. So once you know what to say to a visible when you walk up the door, then there's more likelihood you'll do it. So what stops us is we don't know what to say many times. Right. So let's say that some guys, it could be a girl. Go ahead.
Scripts help build confidence, you would say?
Yeah, confidence. Yeah. Confidence to do the action, but also they help structure the language so it's clear. For example, rather than say, would you like to sell the house? Knocking on the door, which is a yes or no answer. You say, when do you plan on moving? With an intro before. Because when you say, when do you plan on moving? They cannot say yes or no. Now they have to have a conversation. So it helps you because somebody's wrote a script. Now you're going to make sure you get the right scripts, because what happens is you get one person that develops these really strong, powerful scripts. And then you get another coach who says, I want to be a coach. And I've noticed they soften it. They always make it weaker because it's easier to say, oh, I don't want to say, when do you plan on moving? So they'll change it. And then by the time you get it, you get all these watered down scripts. So you got to be careful which scripts you use and who you follow to learn from. You got to find somebody who's actually doing it and getting listings. Obviously, it's like like you got to find out, because it's like a chef asking the customer how to cook a steak. You know what I mean? So you're going to find somebody who's actually doing it.
Yeah. No, you're right. You've got lots of great advice. And we're so lucky to have you on here. Yeah. Tell us how
I want to finish off, if I don't mind. Sorry, Noelle, because it's not a complete thought without me saying this. Is that there's a time when you say, okay, I know the scripts. I made it my own. But what we do is, I just had a call with a couple of agents from Los Angeles, and we were going through different scenarios. But what I do is I teach people the principle behind the question, why we're asking it. Because once you understand why we're asking it, then you can adjust it to the person, because you got the principle, and you can even use your own words. Once you've done the homework of getting the scripts inside you, Bruce Lee said, express yourself. Express yourself. But you want to have the material in your brain that you've already done the hard work of memorizing and understanding dialogues and scripts. Mary, all you interviewing agents, or the house didn't sell. Are you aware of the difference between passive and active marketing? So now I've got a whole dialogue there, right? And then blah, blah, blah. But if I didn't have those templates in my mind, I wouldn't know what to say maybe. So those templates are good, but we have to adjust, so if they really have a relationship with that agent and they really like the agent, it'll be a different script than if they say, well, I met him at an open house, from that, and he's in this particular nationality, and they seem to be buying here, in this area, that kind of thing. In other words, there's no relationship. Doesn't have to be differently than if it's a brother-in-law. So what we need to do is be able to adjust to the situation. And that's where the learning language patterns, the patterns of language, which is a study that's available. Then I want to make you this. That's why I tell my clients, I want you to be the script writer. I want you to be able to write the scripts, because you know the principles behind that question.
Yeah. No, I like the method. I do. So that it is, like you said, it's the scripts are the template, and then you can
I have one client right now. She just sent me a text this morning. Okay, I gave her one to use with her past clients, and she's getting business like you won't believe. Like, she's getting referrals and this and that, because she's using this script, which is really an amazing.
Share it with us?
Yeah, I will, because I want to give value. So here it is, and you call them and you go, hi Mary, and you go, Mary, what we find in the market now is changing interest rates. The market's so different. I'm getting a lot of people asking me, what do I do in real estate? Like, I need some guidance, so who do you know, like a home, family wise or at work, that could use some advice, maybe get them on a call with me. I can help out. And then what people are saying is, and one person said directly, actually said, I need advice. Me, you know what I mean? So you see
Oh.
what I mean? So you use it indirectly, and the word is permission, which is one of my favorite words for persuasion. That in my coaching, 'cause I coach really distinct different things based on persuasion. See, you saying that people right now are confused, they're looking for
Mhm.
guidance. It gives them permission to say, "Oh, okay, I'm not an idiot." Then, if I've said to you, "I need guidance," it gives them permission. It's indirect, rather than saying, "What questions do you
Yeah,
have about
you're
real
getting
estate?" Like, oh,
comfortable.
yeah, but you go, "Okay, I'm calling you. What questions do you have now about real estate?" See how that is so confrontational?
Mhm.
So we still get to where we want to go, but in a different way. And it doesn't take any
Yeah,
more time. It's just a skill. So she's been doing that, and now she's calling everybody, and she sent me a text. She's getting referrals and business from that.
that's
That's only from a
fantastic.
week ago, 1 week, in 1 week.
Good for her, good for you.
Yeah.
You're a good coach. You led her in the right direction.
Yeah.
How can we give us your information if anyone else wants to look you up and get you to coach them? How can we find you?
Well, what I do, first of all, I like to give, I like to build strong relationships. That's my goal. So, even my office, I'm going to be doing in my locally a business plan clinic, just a quick one, an hour or two. And so
Mhm.
I just put a post up so people might come. And I know some people might be scared because, oh, it's a closing machine. When I get into his office, you know what I mean? I won't get out alive without signing something. So the idea there is that it's a long-term relationship, right? Now
Yeah.
that I've built that relationship, because I'm not going to ask them for any business. They don't know that because it's a relationship. If they want something, they'll ask me. The invitation will be there just implicitly. So what happens is that now they're going to go talk about me. I learned this. I did my business. So in the same spirit of that is they go to richardduggal.com, which is right there. They can book a 15-minute call and make sure that they get value. Even if they say, "What's your coaching? How much?" And I go, "Give me your toughest objection." Because, I was involved with Mike Ferry as a coach and did some speaking a little bit there too. And, but I actually helped. What happened is I actually have an email from them saying, great company, by the way, and saying from their salespeople on my computer, it says, "Thanks for teaching us how to use the scripts conversationally." And they're
Hmm.
the ones calling out, getting business.
Yeah.
And so what happens on that call, you will go away with something solid you can use. So get on a
Love it.
call for 15
Yes.
minutes. We'll get right down to business, and I'll give you something you can go use. You know what I mean? Do you see how it's a benefit to me? It's a win-win situation because
Absolutely.
they're going to
And you
go out, they're going to use it, and they're going to go, "Man, this works." So
yep,
it's
and then
no
you have
pressure
that
policy.
relationship for
Yeah,
years.
yeah, yeah. So don't be scared. Get in that call, click that button, and let's get on a call. I also am a voice coach too, a certified voice coach, with the same person that coaches Oprah, by the way, and Tony
Ooh,
Robbins. Yeah,
wow.
in fact, Tony Robbins in the Netflix that I'm Not a Guru, he was practicing. If anyone saw it with that coach saying the same thing, so I sat in the same chair and I was certified. So I work on the voice as well. I've helped a lot of people. I had one person from California, and he had a lot of authority in his voice, a lot of authority. And
Mhm.
but people would hang up on him sometimes. They wouldn't
I
wouldn't
was gonna
talk to
say, would
him.
you think that's a benefit or no? I don't think so,
Well,
right?
I'll tell you the answer. I'm glad you asked that because it's a perfect segue to the answer. So what I did is I said to, I love your authority. It's a good voice, and I said, what I want to do is make it more warmer. And
Mhm.
like some other people may have advised him to become softer, but what I said to him, no, we don't want to give away that authority, that command, because it's a big advantage. So what I did with him is I created a rhythm in his voice. We created a rhythm in the way he speaks, so that what happens when you speak with the rhythm, it just feels warmer for the people on the other
Mhm.
side. And next thing you know, it's he changed in 2 weeks, and people are talking to him. He's longer on the phone, and he's actually enjoying prospecting more. And that's why it's a bit different from other coaching, because some coaching companies, and there's some good ones out there, they say that there's 21 things they're going to teach. They're going to teach you how to hire an assistant, how to manage your money, how to do this, how to do that, how to track your numbers. I focus on a specialist, which is changing your language, the way you speak, your mindset, which is skills training. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I do. That's all I want to do. That's why I enjoy, is making people more skillful. So one person came to me, did, I think it was four or five, I think it was actually 4 listings in a year, and got 100% club at this big company. So he made good money. That means he made over 100. But he came to me, he said, I want to go to the next level. And the second year he took 31 listings at full commission. And the other one, he was actually cutting commission to get the other ones. With me, he got full commission, I think, on at least, I would say 28 of those. Like, and a couple he
Woo.
gave a little break, whatever. But what a change in 1 year.
Absolutely. 4 to 5
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
31-ish.
And he
Yeah,
had
no,
one
that's
objection,
incredible.
talking about objections. So he went to a property in a town called Georgetown. And so he called the guy, and the guy said, you can come over, but you'll never list my property over my dead body, because I have a window fixing company. You know, when you fix windshields and
Mm-hmm.
cars? That's his
Mm-hmm.
business. He goes, I know every realtor in town. Like, they come to me, and they even give me referrals in this small town. And
Yep.
if I go with you, they're going to kill me.
Yep.
You can come if you want. There's an expensive property, by the way. He came to me, and I was actually having lunch. He said, what do I do? So I gave him the script. He went over there, and the guy was signing it. I wasn't there. The homeowner was signing it. And as he was signing, he goes, I don't know why I'm signing this thing. But I am. And he signed it. So I gave him a
She
killer
persuaded
script. I gave him a killer script. It changed the
Yep.
whole frame. If anybody
That's
wants
great.
that, get on a call, and I'll give
No,
you
but
the
that's
exact
a cool
script.
story to have. That's a really cool story to have.
Yeah, and it sold the next weekend, by the way. Yeah.
Woohoo! Well, Richard, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate you today.
Yeah,
And
thank
everyone's
you.
going
I
to
know
go
you're
to
doing great things as well with your
richardduggal.com.
company. Yeah, I want to compliment you and your company. I know you're doing great. I've heard and I've seen that you're doing great things helping agents. So
Thank
keep
you.
doing that work. And I was excited to come on the call,
Thank
with
you.
you.
We're excited to have you. We know that you're a big man up
Yeah.
in Toronto.
Yeah. And if
So
anybody wants a copy of that call, by the way,
I'm sorry.
come on that call. I'll give him a copy of that call where I close the
Absolutely.
lady. It's a world record, 82 times in a row consecutively.
I need to
And you
hear
can hear
it.
both sides
I
of
need
the
to hear it.
conversation.
And then I'll see you in the Guinness World Book.
Yeah. It's under review right now.
Thanks so much, Richard.
Thank you.